Hello, I'm making this video because there is no other video like this on the internet. There is lots of videos on how to fix your pressure washer, but nobody addresses this pressure washer, which is about 20 years old. Honda engine in really good shape, basically lost pressure. It's a Excell, it's an Excell EXH2425. And you can see I'm already into it. Everything's partially apart when I decided to make this video. Nothing addresses this particular pump. Of course, it's an old pump, not supported anymore, can't buy parts. And all the pump guys know that these pumps get replaced, basically. But if you're trying to get your pump or just verify that it's bad and have some mechanical talent, I will get you there real fast. Now, I've already did a partial assembly, and I did get some help from one of the professional pump people. Okay, so the pump is a EXH2425. It's a Devilbiss pump. Worked well for a lot of years. Basically, I removed the valve here. There we go. Which is the offloader valve. Had it apart 3 times. I cleaned it up the first time, put it back together, inspected it. Everything's in satisfactory conditions. It looked like it should work. What I'm going to show you here is I'm removing this. The one nice thing about this pump, unlike others, is that it's put together in sections. So one bolt doesn't disassemble the whole works. It's assembled in stages. So what we got here are the three pistons that push the water, and here is the other half of the pump. These are the cylinders, obviously. Now these things here are one-way valves, and I had one that was stuck, and I managed to get it out. And I guess it had debris in it, cleaned it up, put it back in, and it's working. It was really rough to get out without destroying it, but it's working now. But the real problem with the pump, and this is what it's all about here, this video, if I can show you, there's like a tower here with 3 tabs. Let me see if that focus is any better. And those 3 little tabs hold these one-way valves in. And if they pop out, then you've got the high and low pressure side connected, and the high pressure bleeds into the low pressure side, you lose pressure, which I believe was happening with me. So you can see this tower over here has only got two tabs, but it'll hold in the one-way valve, the check valve. This guy here has got no tabs. It's flat. And when I took it apart, the check valve was partially out of the housing, which I believe was why I lost pressure. So you know, from this point on, most people would just replace the pump, which I'll probably end up doing myself. There are several pumps available. You can do your own research, but they're on. The best thing to do is to call a pressure wash store. Get his input. They all have pumps. Some of them, a lot of them have the same pumps, and they're on eBay, they're on Amazon, and but you got, if you order, mail order, better make sure you get the right pump. But anyway, what I'm going to try to do is to drill a hole, tap it, and put a screw in there to hold that one-way valve in and see if it works. And if it does, I'll get back to you on this video. So I decided to take this one extra piece of video because the light back there wasn't very good. I didn't realize how dark it was, but if you can see the tabs, you can see the tabs over here. Looks like a little castle. with splits between 3 tabs, and over here it's flat, no tabs. So that's where we're going with this. So we're back to working in the shade, but this is my work surface, and you can see the hole I drilled, which is right here, right there. Looks like the camera's slightly out of focus, but that's where it is. And then I got my screw, which I've cut the head down so water can get past it, because it's got to get to the valve. I can't block the valve. And I cut the screw down to the right size, estimate right now, and I got the hole tapped, and I think everything is all set to go. I tapped the hole with a few threads, so it can't back out because of the screws. So I'll see if I can get this thing together right now, see if it works. So we're back again, and there's my screw in there. And the height looks good. I'm going to go for a fit and see if it will actually fit before I put the bolts in. Then I got to put some O-rings back in here, which fell out when I kind of hosed it down. So everything is back together, went together okay. I did use a 1032 screw, 1032. I cut it to size. I tapped the hole about 1/4 inch. I was afraid to drill too deep and going through the casting, and then I'd ruin everything. So I was careful on how deep I drilled, but it's not going anywhere. I mean, it can't go forwards or backwards. Hopefully I got the right height. I measured it 6 ways to Sunday, all different ways, and it looks good. So when I return, we'll see if MacGyver actually is successful today. So I got my pressure washer by the pool here. I'm ready to start it and run it. And my bolts were very seized. One bolt was pretty seized. It took me a while to get it out, rocking it back and forth. I thought I was going to snap it off, but I figured, hey, I got nothing to lose. And I put a little blaster on the end, which really is not getting where it should be getting, but got to start somewhere. And I finally did get the bolt out, but it was, man, is this going to work? So this was really an educational video, not so much, hopefully it'll work. Well, it's apart again. The repair I did looks good. It just didn't have a lot of pressure. It did work, and I decided to pull it apart again and look at it, and this one-way valve over here is not closing. New problem, so I guess I'll see if I can get that out of there and flush it out. There could be debris in there because there's so much crap in the inside of this pump. I'll see if I can straighten that out. But parts aren't available, so what I got is what I got. Okay, success. I spotted a small piece of steel right there, because it's supposed to be able to push the valve down a little bit. They're all spring-loaded, but it was down. It wouldn't come up, and I could see a piece of steel in there, or a piece of aluminum probably. I flushed that with water, and which is what I did before, but something came loose inside, so I'm going to reassemble and try this again. Here we are in the sunshine, and that one-way valve had debris in it. I fixed it. It got stuck again. I ended up removing it from the housing, and it fell apart on me. I didn't know they came apart. Now I do. I got all the pieces. I cleaned it up, put it back together. I flushed the brass housing out again, flushed everything again. Dirt is my biggest problem, it seems. And now I got water squirting, and I've been using it because I kind of did some of this stuff over here, so I'm up and running. Longevity is another deal. So It's the dirt that kind of killed me here in the valves. But I'm going to start this thing up. Okay, so I have success today, which is good. You really know if the wand and the trigger mechanism, everything is working, because if you start it up and it starts to fly around, you know you got pressure. If it sits there and sprays, not working. So it wants to kind of take off like a fire hose now, so I'm in good shape. To summarize what I have kind of been through here, most of the videos I watched were on that unloader valve. Almost every one, and it was a totally different kind of valve than you see here. This one comes right out, it's a solid housing. The rest have like a visible spring, and this one is totally different. The pump that they all want to replace is called an Armor AMR-RMV. That's Armor, ARMOR, space AMR-RMV pump. And seems like most of the pump pressure washer places want to use that pump. And it's pretty widespread. I'm sure there are other ones that are used. Most of the videos I saw, they were taking apart pressure washers that were in actually decent shape. You know, nothing that was too old, so they really didn't show a whole lot. Just a rebuild, which was kind of like worthless, almost worthless information. The way I got started is, like I said, I did call a pressure washer store, and he gave me some direction on what to look for, because I was hesitant to just tear into it, because I wasn't sure what section to go into or really where to go, and I wanted a little more info. So when I got my direction, I got it from Jay's Equipment Repair in Winter Park, Florida. I'm in Orlando, and I'm a guy that likes to do creative engineering, retired electrical engineer and car guy and all of that good stuff, and thought it'd be a good project to see what I can make work. So, but the one thing I did like about this pump is that it has got a drain plug right underneath. You can drain out the oil for the pump and replace it. And that's a big plus, because a lot of these pumps you've got to disassemble they don't have a drain plug or a fill plug. You've got to, looks like you got to disassemble and then add oil and reassemble it. So that's how these newer pumps work. You got to take them apart. So that's why I like this pump. And I hope you enjoyed this long video. And best luck in getting your pressure washer fixed and repaired one way or another. Well, cleaning's moving forward, going right along. And so doing good. Spent about another half an hour getting this, and the rain's coming in now, so I'm cleaning up everything outside. And I guess I'll be the judge when that pump is about to be retired, when something really catastrophic happens to that casting that I can't take care of anymore. So until then, happy pumping.